Our top story this morning, India has once again exposed Pakistan at the United Nations, putting the record straight. India's permanent representative at the UN, Saeed Akbaruddin, tore apart Pakistan, saying that Islamabad is inciting jihad in Kashmir. He also reiterated that Kashmir is a bilateral issue and Pakistan must stop terror to begin a dialogue. Akbaruddin also said that the abrogation of Article 370 is India's internal matter and Pakistan is trying to make it an international issue. Akbaruddin also clarified on China's view, which expressed concerns at the situation in Kashmir and is not the view of the United Nations. The Indian envoy also gave a befitting reply to a Pakistani journalist who tried to heckle him while he approached him to shake hands.
There were some who tried to project an alarmist approach to the situation, which is far from the ground realities. Of particular concern is that one state is using terminology of jihad against and promoting violence in India, including by the leaders. Friends, violence is no solution to the problems that all of us face. All issues between India and Pakistan, as well as India and any other country, will be resolved bilaterally, peacefully, and in a manner that behoves normal interstate relations between countries. We are saddened that terrorism is being fueled. Language and incendiary talk of jihad is being mentioned by people who should know better. Please understand, there are normal diplomatic ways of dealing with countries when countries deal with each other. That's the way to do it. But using terror to try and push your goals is not the way that normal states behave in. No democracy will acknowledge or accept talks when terror thrives. Stop terror to start talks. Matters related to Article 370 of the Indian Constitution are entirely an internal matter of India. These have no external ramifications. The recent decisions taken by the government of India and our legislative bodies are intended to ensure that good governance is promoted, socio-economic development is enhanced for our people in Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh.
Listen in to what India's envoy to the United Nations, Saeed Akbaruddin, said to Pakistan's and China's envoys over the issue.
Voice of people of occupied Kashmir has been heard today in the highest diplomatic forum of the world. They are not alone. Their voices have been heard. The fact that this meeting took place is testimony to the fact that this is an internationally recognized dispute.
Matters related to Article 370 of the Indian Constitution are entirely an internal matter of India. These have no external ramifications.
The Council members have expressed their serious concern concerning the current situation in Jammu Kashmir. They are also concerned about the human rights situation there.
No intergovernmental organization in the world has ever said anything about Indian democracy, India's commitment to human rights. Our constitution is an open book. Our legislature is an open book. If there are issues, these will be addressed by our courts. We don't need international busybodies to try and tell us how to run our lives.
My colleague in India Today's executive editor Gaurav Sawant spoke to India's permanent representative at the United Nations, Saeed Akbaruddin, soon after the Kashmir meet at the United Nations. Listening.
चीन ने एक अपने देश की निजी राय को यूएन की राय बताने की साजिश रची। क्या ये साजिश फेल हो गई सर?
देखिए, मैं अभी कुछ देर पहले दुनिया के सब रिपोर्टर्स के सामने गया और अपनी बात बता दिया। तो पूरा वीडियो पर है, देख लीजिए किसने क्या कहा। हमें गर्व है कि हम एक डेमोक्रेटिक कंट्री के रिप्रेजेंटेटिव हैं और हम खुलेआम सबको अपनी राय बताते हैं। ये नहीं कि अपनी राय को अंतर्राष्ट्रीय राय की तरह का एक अमली जामा पहनाना, ये तो डेमोक्रेसी नहीं करते हैं।
Ambassador, if I may, China and Pakistan, did they conspire, to rake up the Kashmir issue internationally? Because Pakistan claims it succeeded in internationalizing the Kashmir issue. Would you agree, sir?
Gaurav, I don't know the definition that people go by. I don't want to get into semantics on this. You just saw that the Security Council had closed consultations on it. And if they had acceded to the request of Pakistan, aided by China, the answer would have been in front of you. Obviously, the answer that is coming is that there is no traction for this effort. And I have made my view clear. I don't want to add to what is a term or another term, because diplomacy is the art of nuance. And we need to understand each nuance very carefully.
And that 370, the modification of Article 370 is India's internal affair. We will talk to Pakistan, like you said.
That is a settled matter. That is a settled matter. Let's not discuss it. This is internal to India. This is our sovereign right. We've decided. Nobody questions it. Thank you very much.
In the first steps towards restoring normalcy in Jammu and Kashmir after 12 days of lockdown and communications blackout, the government has begun the process to ease curbs phase-wise in the valley. The announcement was made on Friday. Jammu and Kashmir Chief Secretary BVR Subramaniam said the process of restoring phone lines has begun. He also laid out the plan of steps to be taken to ease curbs in the valley. Government offices and schools in the valley will open from Monday. He also stated that not a single loss of life has been reported since the government scrapped Article 370 in Jammu and Kashmir. Srinagar Airport has also been cleared for night flights. However, Jammu and Kashmir politicians like Farooq Abdullah, Mehbooba Mufti continue to remain under detention.
After 12 days of an unprecedented lockdown, people living in the Kashmir Valley can look forward to relief. Having got Independence Day functions off its chest, the local administration on Friday announced that all curbs will be relaxed gradually. The best possible news for lakhs cut off from the world for nearly 2 weeks is that communication was being slowly restored. Schools and other educational institutions will open on Monday.
We have prevented any loss of human life despite concerted effort by terrorist organizations, radical groups, and continuing efforts by Pakistan to destabilize the situation.
The government should now be indulging in confidence-building measures because people have started to now attempting to send out their resentment over the shutdown for so many days. Authorities maintain restrictions are important to ensure no violence takes place. But people here feel otherwise.
जो यहाँ से पिछले 70 सालों से चल रहा है ना, हमने नहीं देखा है, हमारे बुजुर्ग नहीं देखा कुछ बदलाव आया है यहाँ से, यहाँ पे तब से कितनी बार यहाँ पे फोन बंद हो गए, नेट बंद हो गए, क्या फर्क पड़ा उससे?
गवर्नमेंट ने जो कुछ भी कहा वो सब झूठ है। अभी तक जो कहा, पहले गवर्नर साहब ने कहा था कुछ भी नहीं है, फिर 35A को रिमूव किया, 370 को रिमूव किया, सब झूठ बोल रही है गवर्नमेंट।
The clampdown by the government after the centre's move to abrogate Article 370 has hit the people in the valley hard, especially the businesses.
There is no business right now.
There's no business anyway.
Business, there's, and that is on the back burner right now. Business is the last thing on our minds today.
We are down the chamber office, but it's closed. So how can we help our fraternity?
With tourists made to leave the state overnight, Kashmir's popular tourist destination like Gulmarg saw huge revenue losses.
After the abrogation of Article 370, not only the life has derailed in the Kashmir Valley, but even all the tourist destinations are without tourists. There is not a single tourist in whole Gulmarg. Roads are empty. These flower gardens are without any tourist. Otherwise, in this season of the year, you could see the lot of tourists in Gulmarg.
The government says it's reviewing the situation in the valley on a real-time basis and every move will be calibrated, which means it will not be a full withdrawal of restrictions for now. With Pooja Shali, Ashutosh Mishra, Shujaul Haq in Srinagar and Ashraf Wani in Gulmarg, Bureau Report, India Today.
My colleague Ashutosh is now joining me live from Srinagar on this story. Ashutosh, after the Chief Secretary announced all of those easing of curbs and restrictions in the valley, what are you hearing from on the ground? Are phone lines being restored, and if at all, where?
Good morning, Paulami, to all our viewers. And this is going to be the first morning of Kashmir when the government yesterday has announced to ease the situation towards heading the normalcy in the valley. However, as the Chief Secretary had said yesterday, even when I asked that particularly about the opening landline phones and broadband services, so far the landline services, the calling services has not been restored. We were told that maybe by the end of the weekend it could be starting. So we are waiting for that even to contact, family members, and we'll also see, because I have seen at several police stations where the phone was provided, how there was a huge queue of, the locals who wanted to contact to their family members in different parts of the country. At the same time, we'll also have to see in terms of relaxation whether the stretches in all the areas are going to open, because since yesterday the government, those who are working in government offices, they were relaxed. They were allowed to leave from different pockets if they had their government identity card. Emergency services that are still on. And indeed, the valley is returning towards the normalcy after the abrogation of 370. It's been 13 days of the clampdown, but we'll have to see when the relaxation starts, when people start coming out on the road, what they have to say. Paulami.
Right, Ashutosh Mishra there tracking all the developments in the Kashmir Valley. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, children have also been hit by the clampdown in Jammu and Kashmir. Schools have been shut for the last 2 weeks now, and parents are worried that this will affect their children's performance in the midterm examinations in September. But there is some light at the end of the tunnel, as the Jammu and Kashmir administration has announced that schools will reopen come Monday. Take a look at this ground report.
For 12 days now, schools have been shut in the valley after the clampdown by the Jammu and Kashmir administration. The education of children, a huge casualty of the centre's action to revoke Article 370. With exams round the corner, parents are a worried lot.
बच्चों के एग्जाम 15 सितंबर से स्टार्ट होते हैं, 10 सितंबर से स्टार्ट होते हैं, लेकिन जब इन्होंने कोई पढ़ाई ही नहीं की तो बच्चे करें क्या, एग्जाम कहाँ देंगे, ये डॉक्टर कहाँ से भरेंगी? कुछ नहीं है, खत्म हो गया सारा, कश्मीर को खत्म कर दिया।
अदीबा, क्या बनना चाहते हैं आप?
डॉक्टर।
कितने दिन से आप नहीं गए स्कूल?
15 डेज से।
15 डेज। मन कर रहा है जाने का स्कूल?
हाँ।
Schools also wear an empty, deserted look.
The uncertainty even affecting the education in Kashmir. The schools right behind me and several others like this are shut down for last 10 days. The kids are not going to school. September and October, there's final exam. Those kids who come to these schools with high dream to become doctor, engineer, scientist, or even run the country are now under uncertainty.
But with the Independence Day celebration over and restrictions being eased gradually, the administration has announced that schools will reopen on Monday.
There would be an easing of restrictions in the next few days in an orderly way. Schools will be opened after the weekend, area-wise, so that children's studies do not suffer.
With exams kicking off in September, parents are now heaving a sigh of relief that schools will reopen on Monday. With Ashutosh Mishra and Shujaul Haq in Srinagar. Bureau Report, India Today.
After abrogating Article 370, the Modi government has now decided to woo the Gujjar and Bakarwal Muslim community in Jammu and Kashmir. BJP's National General Secretary and the party's spokesman for Jammu and Kashmir, Ram Madhav, addressed a gathering of Gujjar and Bakarwal community members in Jammu and promised political reservation to them. As per the plan, some constituencies in the new Legislative Assembly post delimitation will be reserved for the Gujjar and Bakarwal communities who were given scheduled tribe status a long time ago in Jammu and Kashmir but were denied the benefits of being STs. The BJP hopes to get the support of the nomadic communities in the elections in order to install its own chief minister in the newly created Union Territory of J&K. Meanwhile, the Gujjar community members who attended the gathering welcomed Modi government's decision to abrogate Article 370.
यहाँ शेड्यूल्ड ट्राइब के लिए अभी तक जो पॉलिटिकल रिजर्वेशन की व्यवस्था नहीं थी वो अब आगे जाकर पॉलिटिकल रिजर्वेशन की व्यवस्था इस राज्य में लागू होगी। उसके कारण एसटी के लिए यहाँ स्टेट के अंदर असेंबली में सीट्स रिजर्व किए जाएंगे। ये बहुत बड़ा एक तोहफा यहाँ के शेड्यूल्ड ट्राइब विशेषकर गुजर बकरवाल और ट्राइबल समाज जो है उनको मिलने वाला है।
बहुत फ़ायदा मिलेगा, हमारा एमपी बनेगा कालाकोट से और बहुत फ़ायदा होगा हमें जी, आज़ाद हो गए हम।
जनाब इसका बहुत मिलेगा। हम कैदी को छोड़ से अपना देश के विच हमारी बहुत गवर्नमेंट सहायता करेगी जो आएगी। 70 साल से ले गए आज दिन तक हमारा कुछ नहीं बना। हम ऐसे ही जाते रहे, ना आगा है ना पीछा है, लेकिन मेरा कहना हमारा सब कुछ बनेगा इंशाल्लाह, आपको यकीन है।
Preparations are on to welcome Prime Minister Narendra Modi, which are currently on in Bhutan as the Himalayan nation gears to welcome the leader for an official two-day visit. 10 MOUs are slated to be signed between the two close neighbours in fields like education, among others. Prime Minister Modi is slated to arrive at Bhutan's Paro International Airport around 11:30 a.m. this morning, following which he shall head to the Semthoka Zong. He will also be accorded the Guard of Honour. At the Zong, the Prime Minister will meet the King of Bhutan and the Prime Minister of Bhutan.
PM Modi is coming from India, so we are very happy to receive him. And then till now, India and Bhutan, we are having good relationship. So I want our relationship should be continue.